Show, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite friend T the Monster. We back up in this BI, and we got an episode today. And today we're talking about how to manifest your dreams into the NBA and get drafted and things of that nature. Something like that I'm going to put in the title because the NBA draft just happened, and more importantly, well, people got drafted. And I believe there were some people that used the law of attraction to get drafted into the NBA. So today's show is going to talk about that. The purpose of this episode is to kind of show you how you can use your mind and manifest what the F you want to do in life. I'm trying to refrain from cussing as much as I can, but if some curse words come out, fuck it. So, it's your boy T the Monster, like I said. So we're talking about that today. So I'm going to start off with a quote. Today's quote is, of course, the feeling is the secret, and that's by Neville Goddard. The feeling is the secret, and the reason that quote is for today is because it's going to tie into a lot of what we got to talk about today here on the show. So we'll tie We'll tie that right back into the show, and yeah, here we go. So the NBA draft just happened, ladies and gentlemen. The 2023 NBA draft just happened last Thursday. In case you don't know, I'm here in the Detroit metro area. And obviously, I'm a Pistons fan. So the draft just happened and everything. The Pistons drafted 5th. And they had the worst record last year in the league. I believe their record was 17-65. They were in the draft lottery, and they were expected to get the number 1 pick out of the lottery, which would be Victor Wembanyama. I can never say his last name, so I'm going to say Victor Wembanyama. So we'll put the correct spelling at the bottom for me. And the Pistons were expected to get the first round pick and possibly get him and build on to the core that they already had that's young in Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, etc. However, as we know, as we see now, it didn't turn out that way. And the Pistons, they fell to number 5. And, well, they ended up getting some other people. And so I personally thought that the Detroit Pistons were going to get Cam Whitmore. He seemed to be the guy that was most, I guess they said, NBA ready when it comes to body and physicality or physical and mentality. However, they did say that a bunch of his medicals came back kind of bad, and which caused which caused him to drop in the draft. So they had Cam Whitmore, I think, at the highest, going to like the 4th to Houston or the 5th to us here in Detroit. But as you see, he dropped actually, ironically, to the 20th and still ended up going to Houston in the first place. So Cam Whitmore, as you can see, small forward. I think he's about 225 or so, or if not more. He would have fit, and I think he would have fit with us here in the Detroit Pistons. But like I said, some things came back on his medicals, and I think also with like his game and like wanting to practice or something like that from what I read. So I think that's possibly why his draft stock dropped to 20. But the Pistons did end up getting 2 picks in the first round. They ended up making a trade later into the first round. They had the 5th pick, and originally the 31st. I'm sorry, is it the 31st? It was the 5th and the 31st pick they had, one of the two that they had, and they ended up trading for the 31st down to the 25th pick, in which they were able to get Marcus Sasser, who's a guard, I believe, and he's a hell of a shooter from what it is that I understand and looking at his numbers and things like that. He's a hell of a shooter, which is kind of what the Pistons needed. They needed some defense and some more shooting from three-point, and in getting Marcus Sasser, they were able to get that. And more importantly, I want to get to the most important thing that in the draft, which is our number 5 pick, and Asuar Thompson, who's also a twin who was drafted right after his brother, Amen Thompson, who also went to Houston. And so Asuar Thompson, 6'7", 215, out of, I forgot the college he's out of. We'll put it there on the screen as you see. He was able to get drafted by the Pistons, 5th pick. I think he fits the Pistons as well. But he averaged 16 points. He was the overtime elite MVP in the finals as well, 2 times in a row. Along with his brother, he played with on the team as well. He has a 7-foot wingspan, and from what I hear, his defense is very, very good. Along with him being able to create his own shot and slash to the rim. However, some of his concerns that they have with him are they did believe that some of his shooting may be an issue, but he did improve his shooting from 33% in the beginning of last year's season to about 40% at the end of the playoffs when they were playing in one. So hopefully he's able to mesh well with the Pistons, along with Cade, Jaden, and Jalen. and give them some other options to score with. Jaden, obviously, we saw what he did last year when K got injured. He was able to carry himself with the team and kind of show that he can handle the ball and score and get to the rim very quickly. Cade, of course, being who he is, he can facilitate and pass. Before he got injured last year, he was averaging like 22 and 7 and 8 or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see now with the healthy Pistons team and a young core with Jalen Duren as well, the youngest person in the league who got drafted last year, being able to mesh well with this young core of the Pistons. And so it'll be exciting for our city to see, because it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since we had something to get excited about over at Little Caesars Arena and the old Palace, per se, back in the day. So it'll be great to see what they do there. And, shout out to Asuar Thompson. Welcome to Detroit, my boy. And I did see you tried to wear some buffs per se. You tried to put some glasses on and they weren't buffs. So someone get this man. Can we get this man some buffs, please? Let's get this man some buffs for real. Please, okay? Thank you. We appreciate it. If you don't know what buffs is and you're not from Detroit and you don't know what they is, then we're gonna need you to get hip real quick, you know what I'm saying, so you can understand what's going on. So speaking of his brother, speaking of Asuar Thompson and his brother, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but they actually manifested themselves getting into the NBA. And that brings me to our second topic today, which kind of ties into the two, which is using the law of attraction and getting what you want and getting into the NBA. So Amen and Asuar Thompson apparently had a vision board that they created when they were 9 years old, which stated that they would be, I think, 6'9" or something like that. And they would get to the NBA and be the best NBA players ever and become billionaires. That's what they had on there. I'll pull up a picture of their vision board there so you guys can see it. This is what they wrote down when they were 9 years old, preparing themselves mentally for what it is they wanted. And I think that's great that they did that. I personally have a vision board myself over there on the wall. Along with the fact that I think that I'm actually going to do this with my son too, so that he's able to understand how to visualize and really manifest the shit and get this shit into motion and put what it is you want out there and how to do and have what it is you want. So shout out to them for actually doing that. And I believe there's a lot of people in the NBA actually that actually know how to use the law of attraction to manifest themselves either into the NBA or visualize themselves winning a game. Obviously, the Thompson twins using a vision board as a form of manifestation, because there's so many different techniques. I'm gonna show you guys how to visualize in this video as well. But they use the vision board to get where they wanted to be and to have what they wanted to have, and which is very easy to do. As sometimes, as you see, they wrote down a list. Sometimes people cut out things and put pictures together on a poster board of what it is they want, so they can understand the feeling and get the feeling of what it is they want. So shout out to them for understanding how to do that. I believe that LeBron is a manifester as well. I believe I've seen him talk about that, manifesting some things in the NBA as well. So we'll pull up some clips quickly of the NBA.
Power of the mind is the main difference between good players and great players.
My mind is always going through situations to help us get the edge.
Stolen by LeBron James and flushes it down.
You have to prepare your mind before you start preparing physically.
Talking about how to manifest, or some players talking about how to manifest and how they manifested certain things, or how they manifested games, or how they manifested a certain the way a game is going to go, and things of that nature. So it's very, very possible, ladies and gentlemen, with this conversation, you watching this video, you watching me right now, you manifested this on learning how to use the law of attraction and how to visualize and how to use certain techniques. So if you are watching this and you're young and you're in high school or whatever, and you want to go to the NBA or some shit, and you want to learn how to manifest yourself to the NBA, we're going to talk about that too. So that said, let's go ahead, and before we get to our techniques, which is what I'm going to teach you now, is some couple of techniques on how you can visualize and how you can get yourself to where you want to be mentally to get what you want physically. So before we do that, I'm going to give you a little quick commercial. Go ahead.
Come down to the 777 Casino and Resort. Here at the 777, you are able to smoke weed in all of our rooms. Make your reservation today and receive free crypto with your stay to use at any of our tables and or slot machines. No, really, this is a great idea. You should do it. We have blackjack, roulette, and interracial couples. Come see us at the 777 Casino. Always bet on black and red.
So, how to visualize, some visualization techniques. So it's it's different ways you can do this, but I'm just going to give you one specific technique that I believe is the easiest to do. That way, it's not you're not distracting yourself and it's not getting super difficult, because everything is very, very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. It's simple to do. It's very simple stuff, and it's so simple that people think it's hard. So the way you can visualize, the first thing you do is you want to still your mind, right? You want to make sure that your mind is calm. You want to get into a meditative state per se, right? So you want to sit somewhere quietly, and you want to kind of just, just relax and get into it and like breathe to where, it's called box breathing, where you breathe in for 5 seconds, you breathe in 5 seconds, you hold it 5 seconds, breathe out 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then do it again. That way you get into your body and your mind into a rhythmic state to where it's calming itself, and you focus on that. I say you do that I say you do box breathing like that. You do that 20 times, I believe. And once you do that 20 times, you're going to notice how relaxed you are and how calm you are. And once you notice how calm you are, you may have an urge to move a little bit, but not even want to move. You might want to move your arms or something, and you might not move at all, that's how I know, me personally, that I am in that state of mind, so where I can kind of like relax and just start visualizing. So after you do that, after you still your mind or whatever, you want to just be calm, and then you want to start to see your creative vision and see yourself as how you want to be, or as with the thing you want to have or the thing you want to do. After your mind is calm, that's when you create the movie clip, right? So you create this movie clip. It can be maybe 15, 30 seconds max. It doesn't have to be super long. Create this movie clip of what it is that you would be doing if you had what it is you asked for, what it is you're trying to get, or if you became what it is you're trying to become. What would you be doing? So, for example, in Asuar Thompson's or his brother's example, if they were in the NBA, it would be like, okay, in their vision, it would be them sitting there getting ready to go to practice, or already at practice and talking to a coach with the coach's NBA logo on his shirt, so you can understand that, oh, this is the coach for the team I'm on or the team I want to be on. And you guys can be having a conversation about a previous game that you just had the day before. A game that you guys just had. Oh yeah, last night we just played the Kings and I dropped 30 points and da-da-da-da-da. Oh, and then I came, and after that, this morning I woke up and, or I'm about to drink a Gatorade, or you're drinking a Gatorade while this is happening and you're talking to the coach. There's a reason I say you're drinking something, because you want to make sure that you incorporate your senses in this. So you speaking to the coach, that's talking. That's one sense of, you seeing the coach and his logo on his shirt. That's sight. You see that. Holding a Gatorade, drinking the Gatorade, you know what a Gatorade tastes like. If I told you to taste a cherry Gatorade right now, or see a red Gatorade, you can see it in your mind right now. So see yourself drinking a cherry Gatorade if you're going to the NBA while talking to the coach, and then feeling. Maybe, you feel the Gatorade in your hand, or you hear the sound of basketballs bouncing in the background, so you know you're in a gym. These are the things that you want to do to kind of create and solidify that vision. And then after you create this vision in your head, you want to repeat this vision probably 9 times. I think 9 is the right number to do it. You want to repeat this 9 times, so that way it's instilled in your mind. Now, while this is happening, of course, other things are going to come into your mind and try to distract you. Your job is to stay focused and get back to that vision, even though you're going to have things that come and distract you. And so you want to do this for about 3 weeks or so. Right? Because obviously you're not going to get it right away unless you're very, very good at manifesting. So you do this for about 3 weeks. You get this vision in. And again, this is if you want to go to the NBA. And we'll talk about later on in the channel how if you want to manifest money or people or whatever, we'll talk about that later. But if you want to manifest going to the NBA like how the Thompson twins did, this is something that you could do, as a vision to create yourself, free yourself before you go. And when you're doing this vision, more importantly, you want to make sure you're doing this vision right before you go to sleep. That's the best time to do it. Right before you go to sleep, because your mind goes into what people call the drift, or to your lover or your subconscious mind. That's when your conscious mind meshes with the subconscious mind, and you're in theta mind state, and you're able to manifest quicker. You're able to go into that when you're asleep. So when you're asleep, your subconscious takes over, and everything you talk about is there's no resistance to it. Your conscious mind isn't coming in logically saying, oh, you can't do this because such and such. That's not happening because you're sleeping. You've programmed your mind. So once you do this going to sleep for 3 weeks, 21 days, because that creates habit, or until the feeling of that you feel that this is complete, that's when you can drop it off and just leave it and let it go. Again, the feeling is the secret. So when you're feeling this, you want to make sure you're feeling certain emotions. The 3 emotions you want to feel when you're doing this is satisfaction, gratitude, and relief. and being happy, of course, because like it's done, it's over, it's already happening now. Everything you just visualized is already happening now. You're just bringing it to it happening now. You know, you're just making it happen now. You're preparing yourself mentally to bring it to yourself now because everything already exists. So that's, you know, that's essentially like how you would do that shit. And again, you just, you know, don't get caught up in the reality. After you've done this vision, don't get caught up in, oh, okay, even though I just did this vision, oh, damn, I can't go to the NBA now because I didn't make the high school team. Don't get caught up in that, because you have to believe in what it is you just been planning in your mind and know that it's already done. Regardless of what life tells you, regardless of what you hear, see, smell, taste, and touch in the real world, when you go in your imagination to make that vision and you solidify that for that time and to where it's implanted in there, it's going to happen regardless. Regardless if you don't want it anymore, it's going to happen. So that's all I got today. And more important, oh yeah, and believe. Make sure you believe that, believe it, believe it all day. And I'll let you guys go. I don't want to keep y'all too long. That's all I got today. And I'm gonna end y'all with a music video.
I'm skilled enough to spit it and kill it in any way. 2-minute drills, no suicides, just in the pain. The beat crack, I whip it up, that's Franklin saying. I reach your ass like Reed, keep think I'm fucking playing. Raymond Reddington when I rap with a little tan. I cross you off my blacklist, you and your mans. Quarters and halves, young niggas was selling change. Then I stopped selling, no notice how motherfuckers change. So I keep my distance from niggas as if I'm kept on stage. Turn the page, niggas stopping you if they ain't on the same. Charge the game, get the receipts and take it to the bank. Refund all the shit you doing that they said you can't. Smoking tank for the clarity, nothing in the pain. I'm the same, starving artist starting in the Hunger Games. What's your name? Don't matter to me, I see it on your chain. I'll keep that in mind when I'm eating at your fucking brain. I studied the game, now it's time to be one of the GOATs. Sean Carter, P. Miller, Sean Diddy Combs, O'Shea Jackson, Dave Chappelle, and so many more. You can write your own ticket and sell out your own show. I quit my job and told my boss that I'ma sink a flow. I prayed to God, he said I got you, so good for the goal. A broke rapper turn hustler who do what he told. By God, he inside from my head down to my toes. I do the most on flows for those who don't know. In case you thought I couldn't rap, cause I'm a fucking pro. And you a fucking hoe, signing deals with no dough. Built the infrastructure that's slow grind, but all pros. I'm coming in like Bigsburg, Damon, and Hope. Subtle bars show these kids who the fucking go. Overhead like projectors when you was taking notes. In math class with the teacher, that was 2004. Niggas will put an eighth in the backwood, smoke the whole thing and think that he can rap good. I'll call your bluff with hands free, this man's cheap. This last week he dined and dashed, is that deep. That's my fam to tell you that I'm the black sheep. But I don't follow our leaders like I'm a black sheik. All black with the gold, even the black sheeps. So when I'm in it, she look down and say, that's me. Cream, I'm talking dollar bill jack. Bunnies getting surgeries to be but never feel black. I know them big booty black women gon' feel that. This real rap all facts, you niggas all cap. Murder ain't hurdle the high has kicking the clap. Presidential if I don't drive, I'm sitting in the back. While eating snacks, it's AR sit on my lap. Lyrical bullets go bang bang, grata-ta. Cut.
And I'll see y'all next week. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. Or if you have any questions, be sure to comment below, and we can talk about it in the next episode. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have any idea or any questions of any other techniques, we'll talk about them here. We'll get things going, man. It's that one show. Your favorite friend, T the Monster. I'll see you next week.
My vision board. What the fuck you think God gave me this vision for?